Sucker-free Sunday, my friends. Hope you guys are well on this beautiful Sunday. So let me tell you something that feels good. It's getting out, taking a nice stroll, nice walk after a rainy day. It just finished raining and it's very peaceful, and I love that. Not too many people out, because usually when it's sunny and everything, a lot of people come out. And you know, I like to avoid people. That's how I get ahead, because people are a distraction most of the time. And welcome to my village. This is my village, and today we're going to talk about the economic warfare that is going on in the United States currently, and what the implications are of this economic warfare. And you know, hopefully we can come up with solutions, or I can give you some ideas on how to escape this. So about 4 years ago, when the Ukraine war started, Ukraine went to war with Russia 4 years ago. Already, time has passed. I was tracking the war. I was tracking everything that was going on, all the battles that were going on in different cities over there in Ukraine. And I came across this story of how the Russians were basically, with the lack of a better word, they were encouraging or incentivizing their soldiers to fight hard and win the war against Ukraine. And part of those incentives were offering, these fake prizes, fake monetary incentives, and telling their soldiers that they're going to be paid like 10,000 USD if they signed up for the Russian army, which is not true. They were lying. And what else? They started even recruiting foreigners. I know some Africans that were recruited to go over there to Russia to go and fight the Ukrainians. Some Zimbabweans, some Kenyans as well, that have been recruited, lured in by fake promises, fake financial promises that they were going to get paid a lot of money. So, suckers. I feel bad. And they're not suckers. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. They don't know any better. A lot of Africans are quite ignorant. A lot of human beings, not just Africans. It's not an African problem. It's a human being problem. A lot of human beings are ignorant. They don't follow current events. They don't track what is really going on. In addition to these fake incentives, false incentives that the Russian government was putting out, they also had these commandos. And these commandos were hired specifically to make sure that the soldiers that had signed up for the Russian army do not desert the army, do not give up on the battlefield. And one of the tactics they put in place was to have these commandos at the back of these soldiers. And then they will push the soldiers forward to fight the Ukrainians. Let me see if I can pass through here. There's a lot of water. Check this out. It's flooded. So they'll send these Russian soldiers to the front lines, and the commandos will be right behind them, ready to shoot, instructed to shoot to kill any soldier that tries to run away from battle. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And they'll also set up these booby traps all over the battlefield to ensure that any soldier that tried to run back to the Russian side would not make it if they try to desert. It's brutal. This is where the term called the meat grinder. If you guys know what the meat grinder terminology, if you ever heard of that, this is where it came from. The battlefield between Russia and Ukraine. It's harsh. Let me put it this way. And the economic war that is currently going on, there are also these commandos that are incentivized to make sure that you guys don't get out of this battle alive financially. Okay? So you can become indentured servants or debt slaves or wage slaves. One of the three. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to fall into these traps, these booby traps, where they're going to be falling into these traps and they can't get out. Or if they can get out, it's going to be very, very difficult to get out of that situation. By the way, our roads are not so good. I know a lot of people make fun of roads over here in Africa, but let me tell you something. The reason why these roads are bad is because a lot of people are not going to pay taxes to the local authorities because, you know, the local authorities are, let's put it this way, they're rumored to misuse the funds, the tax funds. So people would rather build their own mansions like these ones right here. Beautiful, isn't it? They'd rather build their own mansions and then take care of the roads by themselves. So more than likely, a lot of these people are going to pay for these roads themselves instead of some government official paying for them because they don't trust anybody. Do you blame them? I don't trust anybody either, especially with my money. Anyway, back to the economic warfare. A lot of you guys that are still stuck in the West, you might not be able to get out of this one. But it's not impossible if you design your own process, your own system that makes sense to you, that is custom to you, then you're going to make it. That's the only way you're going to make it. But if you are relying on the current system that is in place right now, there's no way you're going to get out. There's just no way. The inflation is crushing. Jobs are being swallowed up and taken by AI. Nobody's hiring. And if the jobs that are available, they're not paying very much. You have to be very, very valuable in the marketplace for somebody to actually want to pay you what you're worth. And that's not easy either. So it's safe to say a lot of people are going to be in big trouble, or they are already in big trouble now. The only place that I've not seen this situation happen is over here in Africa. That's the only place, because a lot of people here do not depend on the system like that. I just told you, I just showed you here behind me. A lot of people here are not going to rely on the local government to develop their roads, to fix their roads. They'd rather do everything themselves. Even a lot of these houses over here, they have their own water supply. They drill wells for their own water supply. They have solar for their power. What else? Yeah, they're pretty much self-sufficient. People grow their own food in their yards. So it doesn't matter what happens to the economy or the system. If the system fails, these people are going to be just fine. What I'm trying to say is that it's time for you to design your own system like these people have. Yeah, it's not going to be a perfect system. It's not going to be pretty, right? But you can design your own system so that you can have a nice compound. Check out some of these houses over here. People here are self-sufficient. You can design something like this for yourself and survive. Create like a moat that nobody can take away from. But it starts by you investing in yourself. If you continue to invest in the system, because this is what a lot of people do, when the economy starts to crash, they start talking about going to get another degree, going back to school, taking on more debt. You already lost. You already lost the game if you're thinking like that. You need to change the way you think. And changing the way you think it starts by you being around other people, like-minded people that think the way you should be thinking. Winners, other winners. And I've actually done that. I've solved that problem for myself because for many years, I started to notice that about 90 to 95% of people that were around me were not switched on, man. They were not solid like that. I needed a new group of people quality over quantity season now. I needed a new group of people that were on the same time that I'm on, which is building my own system that no government, no outside entity can come in and disrupt. So it doesn't matter what happens to the US economy, it doesn't matter what happens to the African economy. I've built shock absorbers to absorb all the chaos that some of you, at least majority of you guys, are experiencing. So if you guys are interested in investing in yourself, I'll put a link in the description of this video. Schedule some time, invest in yourself. Link in the description. And when you join this group, you're going to be around other like-minded people that will encourage you, that will hold your hand, make sure you do the work. But I need you to be serious. If you're still like stuck on the old way of doing things, that's fine, but this group is not for you. But if you're serious about changing your life, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and if you're not wanting to be a victim of this economic warfare, then this group is for you. Link in the description of this video. Talk to you soon.